when you're ready, getting seated somewhere on the mat. And you can bring yourself to close your eyes. And start to connect with the breath. And placing your hands somewhere comfortable. Starting to inhale and exhale. And maybe you can return back to your intention. The intention that you thought of this morning when Rebecca asked what you would like to get from this retreat. And if you haven't already set an intention, you can set the intention now. Starting to inhale deeply through the nose and exhale through the nose. Just focusing on the breath and forgetting anything else that you need to do today. Just checking in with the body, seeing how the body feels now. Do you feel any discomfort? If you have any injuries or you're feeling a little bit of discomfort, you can just take it slowly. If you feel any pain, go back. And at any time, you can just take a nice seat. And when you're ready, you can keep your eyes closed if you like. You can slowly start to rotate the neck. Rotating it one way, as slow as you need to be. If there is somewhere that you need to stretch a little more, you can do so. Maybe you can use your hand to stretch a little more. And then when you're ready, you can circle the opposite way. Especially if you have a lot of tension or a lot of worries. A lot of these can get stuck in the neck and in the shoulders. So we'll be focusing on those areas today with this gentle yoga flow. And when you have circled your shoulders, you can place your hands, when you circled your neck, you can place your hands on your shoulders. And you can slowly start to rotate the shoulders. Slowly start to rotate the shoulders. Don't know what happened to the camera there. And rotate the opposite way. Nice. Just seeing the tension in the shoulders and how that feels. Nice. And then bring the hands to the chest. Take some nice deep breaths. And inhale, open out the arms to the side. Look up to the sky. And exhale, look down, bring the palms together. Inhale to open up, nice and wide. And exhale, bring the palms together, look down, push the back towards the back of the room. Keep going at your own pace, opening nice and wide. Beautiful. And then opening up here, and you can clasp the hands behind the back. Inhale to look up, and exhale, bending forwards. Maybe bringing the head towards the floor. And gently pulling the hands back towards the ceiling, maybe towards the floor. Nice. On the exhale, move the shoulder over to the left side, pushing down with the sit bones, making sure you're still grounded. And then inhale back to the center, exhale over to the other side. Nice. And then slowly come on up with the head coming last. And maybe shaking out the hands a little. And then when you're ready, you can come onto your hands and knees. Placing the hands underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. You can lower down the toes or tuck them, whichever feels good for you in your body. I'm coming into some cat-cows, so inhale, open up the chest. And then exhale, look towards the belly, pulling up the back towards the sky. Inhale, feel each vertebrae open and move as we go through these cat-cows. Exhale, look to the belly. And inhale, open up. Exhale, pull up the belly to the spine. Right. And one more here. So we're really focusing on how it feels in the body. It doesn't have to be completely perfect. Nice. And then from here, tucking the toes. Walk back the hands to meet the knees. Bring the palms to the chest and just take a nice breath here. Maybe exhale through the mouth. Lift up the hands. Maybe move a little from side to side. If your toes are feeling a little uncomfortable, you can release them down. I know this is a little intense for the toes. Just moving a little side to side. Nice. And then release the hands back down in front of the knees. Lift up the knees and come into a forward fold at the back of your mat or your space. And you can bend the knees, make sure the back is nice and protected. You don't need to be hunched over. You can just bend your knees and place the hands either on the floor or behind the legs. Move a little if you like. And then slowly stop the movement. And just stay here in stillness, seeing how it feels. Take an inhale, slowly roll up. And release the shoulders behind you. Beautiful. And maybe walk up to the front of the mat. Inhale, lift up the hands, and exhale, forward fold. The feet can be hip width apart or they can be closed together. Inhale, come up halfway for a nice flat back. Opening up the shoulders. Exhale, forward fold. And bring the right foot back. lower down the knee to the mat if you can. If you need to, you can put something underneath. Open up the chest. And exhale, send the hips back for a runner's lunge. If you need to, slide the hands back a little bit. And for this runner's lunge, you can straighten the front leg as much as you need to. Trying to straighten, as much as we can. If you need a little bend in it, that's okay. This time you can come down maybe a little lower. Push down with the left foot. Just take some breaths here. See how it feels again in the body. And then inhale, come back to your low lunge. Take a breath. And maybe lift up the hands to the sky, opening up the chest here. The hands can be shoulder width apart, or you can bring them together. Inhale and exhale. Just move the body a little bit over to the left side. Hands over to the left. Feeling the stretch in the right side of the body. Good. And then inhale back to center. Maybe you can go ahead and take the hands and clasp them behind the back again, opening up the chest. You can lower down those toes if you like. If you need to protect your knee, you can keep them on the mat. Breathe here. Nice. And then release the hands back up to the top. Inhale and exhale, maybe twist over a little bit to the left side. Nice. Twisting over to the left. And then inhale, come back, release the hands back down to the mat. And then from here, if you need to take a little break, you can come down into child's pose and open up the knees if you just need a few breaths. But if not, you can lift up the knees, lift up the hips and come into a downward facing dog. So we can bend the knees as much as you need to and bring up the hips nice and high to the sky, pushing down equally with the hands and the feet. So we're not collapsing into the hands at the top of the mat. If you want, you can pedal out the feet a little bit. And try and create some space between the ears and the shoulders, so we don't need to hunch up like this. Maybe you can just rotate the shoulders a little bit. And if you're pedaling your feet, just stop and stay here in the stillness. Feet are hip width apart. Nice. Beautiful. And then from here, slowly walk the feet up to meet the hands at the top of the mat. Coming again into our forward fold. Exhale. Take a nice deep exhale. Maybe even through the mouth. Inhale to come up halfway for a nice flat back. And exhale, forward fold. Then from here, send that left leg back. Lower down the knee again to the mat if you can. And come onto the fingertips, open up the chest. Lovely. Exhale, send the hips back into runner's lunge. If you need to, slide the hands back a little more. Straightening that front leg as much as you can. Press down with the right foot, the sole of the foot. So the right foot is nice and active. Make sure we're not collapsing over to the left side. Just check in with the body, see how it feels now. And then exhale, bend that front foot one more time, slide the hands back, coming back to our low lunge. Take a breath and inhale, lift the hands up. Beautiful. Again, hands can be shoulder width apart. Inhale and exhale a little, send the hands just towards the right. A little bit of a kind of crescent moon shape here. Good. A little kind of Simba over the rock type movement. And then inhale back to the center And maybe clasp the hands behind the back. Inhale, open up the chest, just a little tiny openness. Keeping the belly nice and tight. Good. And inhale, bring the hands back up to the sky. And then slowly bring the hands to the chest, and maybe twist a little to the right. Beautiful. And from here, come back to the center. Hands come down. And again, you can come into child's pose or downward facing dog. So if we're in downward facing dog, we're making a nice mountain shape, a nice triangle with the body. Again, bending the knees as much as we need to. And if you're here in child's pose, you're just lowering down the forehead to the mat. Just taking a few more breaths wherever we are. And then if you're in downward dog, you can come down to child's pose. Just taking some nice, relaxing breaths here. And just check in again with your body, see how it feels. Beautiful. From here, slowly come up. One more time to downward facing dog. And walk up the feet to the top of the mat. Inhale to come up halfway. And exhale for a forward fold. Nice. Send that right leg back and place the heel 45 degrees down onto the mat. And we're coming up here into Warrior One, Virabhadrasana 1 pose. So the hips are nice and straight, facing the front. So check in with the hips. Bend the front leg at 90 degrees. Beautiful. And if you like, you can have your hands up, or maybe you can take the opposite elbows and kind of open up the shoulders here. You can push back with your head. If you have really tight shoulders like I do, this might even just be too intense. So you don't have to take the elbows. You can take the wrists if that's a bit easier. Taking some nice deep breaths. Nice. Staying here with the left foot forwards. The left foot is at 90 degrees. Good. And then you can release the hands up and lower down the left hand, twisting over to the left. Maybe you can place that left hand on the outside of the right thigh. Beautiful. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, bring the hands back down. And from here, you can come into forward fold at the top of the mat. So slowly bring that back foot forwards, forward fold. Inhale to come up halfway for a nice flat back, neutralizing the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale and exhale, send that left leg back. Lower it down 45 degrees and slowly come up into your Warrior One on the other side. Again, you can keep your hands up to the sky, or take the opposite elbow, maybe the opposite elbow from last time, with the opposite hand. Pushing down with both feet, the back foot and the front foot. Maybe get a little bit lower with the front. The belly is nice and tight. Good. Breathe. Release the hands, lifting them up again. And exhale, send that right hand down to the outside of the left thigh. Twisting a little to the right side. Nice. Belly is nice and tight. Inhale, bring the hands back up. Exhale, lower the hands down to the mat. And you can lower down the left knee and bring that right knee back. So we're coming into a child's pose. Knees can be open as much as they want to be. The forehead can come down to the mat. Taking some nice deep breaths. Starting to slow the breath. Nice. And then slowly start to inhale. Bring the hands back to meet the knees. You can close your knees here. If this is uncomfortable already, you can extend out the legs. If not, you can stay here with me and bring the hands up to the sky. Nice. Exhale, clasp the hands behind the back again, seeing how we feel. Maybe it feels a little tiny bit more open. Exhale, bend forwards, bringing the head towards the mat for a rabbit pose. Bringing those arms up nice and high for our cute little bunny ears. Breathe here. Think maybe if you can get a little bit further forwards on each exhale. And checking in with how the shoulders feel now compared with how they felt at the start. And then slowly coming back up with the head coming last. Take a nice deep breath here. Inhale through the nose and maybe exhale through the mouth. Nice. Come onto your sit bones, so extend out the legs. Nice. And then bring in the right knee into the chest. Squeeze that right knee into the chest. Maybe close the eyes. On the exhale, squeeze it in a little more. And then place that foot on the outside of the left leg. Inhale here and exhale to twist over to the right side. And place that right hand behind you. And you can see here, I'm twisting up and opening up my chest. On each exhale, maybe twist a little more over to the side. Releasing a little more tension from the shoulder. You can hug in your leg to the chest, flexing with that left foot. Nice. And then when you're ready, the other side. So straighten out that foot, bring the left knee into the chest, squeeze it in. Take another breath, squeeze it a little more, and then exhale, place it on the outside of the right. Inhale to straighten the body, flexing that right foot, and twist over to the opposite side. Nice flat back, not hunching over if possible. And looking out behind you. Nice. One more breath. And then inhale, come back to the center. Bend the knees and slowly lower down the back, keeping the knees bent. Lower down the back to the mat. And we'll do just 5 more minutes of grounding. So depending on how energized or relaxed you want to feel, bringing the knees into the chest, moving a little from side to side, hugging the knees into the belly, the chest, moving for a little massage, and just checking in with the body, seeing how you feel now. What are the sensations you have in the body? Beautiful. Just a few more breaths here. Nice. And then maybe you extend up the legs so that the soles of the feet are pointing towards the ceiling. Nice. You can take the backs of your thighs with your hands. And just seeing the blood flow for a nice bit of relaxation here. And seeing if the feet twinge a little bit, just feel those movements. And then from here, you can lower down the soles of the feet back to the mat and place your hands on your belly. Take a nice inhale and an exhale through the mouth. If you like, you can extend out the legs for a Shavasana. And you can also extend out the arms, whatever you're feeling right now. If you would like to relax completely, you can stay here in the Shavasana, or you can bend the knees. And just relax every part of the body. The feet, the legs, the hips, the belly, the chest and the shoulders. The shoulders are nice and relaxed on the mat. Release the frown from your forehead, the skin near the eyebrows. And see how the body feels, if there's any twinges or any uncomfort in the body. Just acknowledge the uncomfort and breathe. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, you can close the legs. If they were open, bring the arms up above your head. Stretch the whole body. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. One more time. Maybe on the exhale, extend out the tongue for lion breath. Inhale, exhale. Bend the knees. Bring the hands back to the belly. If you like, you can extend up the legs again and shake them out. Shake out the feet and the hands. Nice. Slowly lower down the knees to one side and bring the whole body there. And push up back to your seated position. Crossing the legs if it feels comfortable for you, if not, extending out the legs. And just coming back to the breath, coming back to the body. Seeing how you feel now, returning once more to the intention. If you'd like to make any more final movements, you can do so. If you want to shake your head, that's fine. And when you're ready, bring the hands to the chest. Take a nice deep inhale in, and then exhale out, bow forwards to seal the practice. Bring the hands towards the mat. And then inhale, coming back up, releasing the hands. You can slowly open your eyes if they were closed. Thank you so much for joining me. I would love to know how you enjoyed the practice. How do you feel now compared with how you felt at the start? Thank you so much for joining me.